Welcome to Storytime. In today's story, you will hear the tragic tale of a third grade boy who peed his pants. Welcome back everyone to Storytime. In today's story, you already know the ending. I peed my pants. But how did it happen? And most importantly, why? When I was a child, I unfortunately wet the bed a lot. And sometimes I wasn't even asleep. No, you know what? Actually, I was asleep, okay? I wet the bed so often that I was afraid to spend the night at any of my friends' house. But that didn't stop them from wanting to spend the night at my house. One of my friends, Alan, I don't know why I remember his name, but I do, decided to spend the night at my house. And I was freaking out because I was like, no one ever spends the night at my house. And I only had one bed in my room, so we decided to do what besties do. Sleep in the same bed. But we slept from head to toe, which was probably worse, you know, now that I'm freaking out about wetting the bed and he's in the bed and I'm you know what, at this point I'm freaking out. This was me in third grade.
Hi, my name is David.
Now keep in mind, I didn't know how to speak any English until I was about 5 years old. So I had a pretty heavy accent all the way until about 7th to 8th grade.
Should I tell him I wet the bed or should I just let him find out in the morning?
That's the conversation I was having in my head right before we went to bed. And you can guess what option I went with.
I'll let him find out in the morning like a Christmas present.
So we go to sleep and we wake up the next day and to no surprise, the bed was wet. But I'm quick, and I said, I'm gonna throw this kid off guard. I can't just accuse him of wetting the bed because that would put guilt right on me. So what I did was throw a curveball at him, and the first thing I said was,
oh no, one of us wet the bed.
Now at this point, he's probably thinking, I didn't wet the bed, but maybe I did. I'm confusing the heck out of him.
I won't say nothing if you don't.
Oh, you know, you wet the bed, I wet the bed. It's one of us, but we can't tell because we're sleeping in the same bed. We can't tell unless we get like a DNA sample, urine analysis, and we find out. And we're not gonna go through all that trouble just to find out who peed, right? And he took the bait, and he was like, I guess one of us did wet the bed. Boom, my plan worked. Until this day, he does not know who wet the bed. Unless you're watching my video right now, Alan, I'm very sorry for wetting the bed that one night. It was me, it was not you. But that was just the beginning of my peeing pants adventures. Now I'm in third grade English class, and I'm already bad at school, and I'm bad at English.
David, say America. America.
So of course I'm talking up a storm, you know, with my friends. I'm not paying attention in class, and the teacher just looks at me and says, that's it, off with his head. No, she didn't actually say that, but that's how I felt when she called me out in front of the whole class and sent me to timeout.
David, what did I just say? America?
Now I'm going to the timeout chair, right? So I'm going over there, but at least I have my wild imagination. And I'm sitting there, you know, probably thinking about some dumb scenario. I'm like making waves and surfing, and everyone's just looking at me like, what is that kid doing over there in timeout? That was me. I was crazy. I did what I wanted. I had a crazy imagination. I still wasn't paying attention to anything.
At least I have my uncontrollable imagination.
So I'm, you know, playing with nothing, doing waves, and then bam, it hits me. I really have to pee. So I raise my hand.
Teacher, I have to pee. America.
The teacher just ignores me. I raise my hand again. I'm bouncing around. Please, senora. You know, I'm just being ignored this whole time because I was a disobedient child and I'm getting desperate now, right? So I look over at one of the students and I say, hey, I'm going to pee. I'm going to pee my pantalones.
I'm going to pee my pantalones.
So the student, being cool, raises her hand and the teacher calls on her and the teacher says yes. And she says, David has to pee. Now everyone in the class knows why I'm bouncing around in the timeout chair like The Exorcist, and they're all just relieved that I have to pee and I'm not possessed. Now the teacher just looks at the student and says,
David is in timeout, ignore him.
And then she looks right at me, and I look right into her eyes. And you know what, at this point, it was over. I was done. And as we had that eye contact, I'm just letting loose. I start peeing my pants. Now the teacher didn't know I was peeing my pants if we were having that stare down, but I think she found out when I did one of these. Then she knew I peed my pants in the timeout chair. I mean, how could you be shocked when I had to pee and I was been holding it and I'm in 3rd grade and I pee like every 5 minutes? How could you be shocked that I would pee my pants if you didn't let me go pee?
David, you should go to the office. Okay, peace out.
I don't think the class would have known that I peed my pants if it wasn't for me walking across the room with a wet shoe and you just hear. Then everybody knew I peed my pants because my shoe was giving me away. Well, it was rough, but I forgive the teacher for not letting me go pee. Well, I guess she did let me go pee, but not in the toilet. But now I haven't ever peed my pants again. Well, I did once a couple of years ago, but that's for another story time.